Hi guys, Football-ManagerYouthDevelopment.co.uk here. In this episode, we're going to be having a look at creating a tactic for Dortmund. I have created a tactic for Bayern Munich, who are obviously the best team in Germany. So I just wanted to explore some of the other teams in Germany, and obviously Dortmund are classed as the second best team in Germany. So I thought it'd be quite a good idea to just have a look at this team and just see what we can do. So obviously having a look through the team, you can see they have got really good players like Rouse, and yeah, players like Mads Hummel as well. A few other players, Kagawa as well is a pretty decent player. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to put all the sort of players in their kind of rough positions, and then we're going to just have a look at the tactic as well for the team. So yeah, I'll just create, kind of put the players roughly in their positions, and then we'll be back soon just to have a look at the tactic that I've created for this team. Okay then guys, so I've made the tactic for Dortmund. So having a look through this team, that I can definitely see that compared to Bayern Munich, this team's quite a long way off Bayern Munich. Just having a look at some of the players that they've got. Instantly, if I was managing Dortmund, I'd definitely look to bring in a new striker. I think they need someone, just a kind of like powerhouse, if you like. I do certainly think that Dortmund could attract that type of player, but it strikes me at the moment they just, they don't have a kind of decent enough striker, if you like. So they've obviously got some really good players like Hummels, players like that, and Roos as well. But there's just certain kind of positions and things where they're just not too strong. So I think a good place to have a look at the beginning. So we'll have a look at the fullbacks now. The thing that strikes me with these fullbacks, their crossing ability of 10, tackling is not exactly great. Now, we can obviously see that this guy's got amazing mental attributes, and his physical attributes are pretty good as well. Obviously, like stamina's really high, pace is 16 as well. I forgot to mention at the kind of beginning, I'm really definitely going to struggle with a hell of a lot of these surnames. So in most cases, I probably won't even bother trying to pronounce them, because that's just not going to go well. So yeah, we'll have a look at this player. So yeah, tackling 13, crossing of 10. It's quite a similar story with the other fullback as well. So yeah, crossing ability of 12. Now this guy's tackling's a lot better, and he's got kind of more physical attributes, but yeah, the kind of crossing ability of these fullbacks is not exactly fantastic. So one thing to have a look at, obviously, Royce, he's kind of more of like a kind of flair type player, like flair, pace, dribbling, things like that. But again, he doesn't exactly have fantastic crossing ability or good vision either. So yeah, like this type of player can obviously like run at the opposition, but they're not going to be kind of like too creative. I kind of picture him almost as like an Aaron Lennon type player. Like kind of with all the flair and the skill, but like potentially their kind of end products might not necessarily be there kind of all the time. Like obviously passing attribute 12, vision 14, crossing 13. Now they're not exactly awful attributes, but there's just certain other attributes that this player's got that are going to make him a hell of a lot better. You'll be able to get more out of him doing other things, basically. If I have a look on the other wing, this guy's a little bit better, I'd say, in terms of sort of like being a little bit more creative. Obviously, he doesn't have the kind of flair and kind of things like that, but obviously he's got really, really good pace, good work rate, good crossing of 14 as well, and a little bit higher vision at 13. So this guy, I think, is going to be kind of like your better outlet, probably on the right hand side. So yeah, I am going to use these two as wingers just because I think that they have got like kind of pace and a little bit of skill just to kind of make things happen. But I don't think their kind of creativity, especially from these kind of wide areas, I don't really think it's kind of good enough at all. So what we have to do, we have to look in the middle of the park. Now they've got this guy here who's got a vision of 17, passing of 16, and technique of 17. So for me, this guy is going to be the one who's going to be like the most creative player. So what I've decided to do here is just to put this guy as a kind of ball winner midfielder. So we can see this guy's absolutely perfect for that. He's got 20 work rate, 18 tackling, 18 marking, aggression and bravery 19. Not necessarily the kind of most strongest player, but yeah, it's stamina of 20. So all day long, this player is just going to be running around, just getting the ball really quickly, just kind of winning it back. And then the idea is that he'll pass it back, or sort of like pass it off to his defensive partner. Now, what we can do with this guy, I've set him as a deep line playmaker, and what I'm allowing Kagawa to do is just be an advanced playmaker, but I'm just leaving him on the support duty just so he can kind of like float around. Potentially he might actually be better with that position, but I think because in the middle they're going to be slightly light, I think Kagawa does need to track back a little bit. If you imagine when the team's kind of defending, what will basically happen, Kagawa will roughly kind of push back into that position, leaving the other three players just up front to, like get ready to receive the ball basically, and just kind of make the most out of their pace, just to kind of catch teams on the counter attack. I did mention about their strikers. They have got this guy. He's not bad, but he's just not like amazing, like compared to having a look at like Lewandowski or someone like that. Obviously the kind of key attributes that you have got are really, really good. So off the ball 18, finishing 17, composure 15. He's got a bit of pace about him with 16, and he's got good work rate as well. So yeah, he's not awful, but I don't think he's like absolutely fantastic. So I think with this guy, you're probably going to be relying on him getting into the good positions. And I think with this guy here, and probably Mats Hummels, who I have set as a ball playing defender. Now the idea basically is going to be that Hummels and this guy are almost going to be like quarterbacks in American football. They're just going to be kind of like launching it, just like having a look around, basically just kind of seeing who's in a really good position. Now I think obviously both these guys are just going to be able to do that. You got a little bit of still in the midfield with this guy and this defender as well, who are just like, this guy I've just got as a limited defender, and that's pretty much all he's all right for. He's got 6'4", strength 17, heading 17, marking 18, tackling and 18 as well. So the way I see it, kind of this guy and this guy's the still, and then these two are the kind of like people that are going to be making it happen basically. And the idea is that these four are just going to be running around, just trying to get into really good positions just to try and make things happen. So that's the kind of like structure of the team. In terms of mentality, as a kind of starting tactic, I think it's going to be good to go for standard. I think this team can sort of like soak up pressure. I'll show you in a minute, but the team instructions, I think this team is going to be quite good for like soaking up pressure. Keeping their shape, keeping really structured, and then when the ball does get up to these players, they've got to move it around really, really quickly. So what I've decided to do for the team instructions is to be more disciplined. I've obviously mentioned that I want these two players here to be, kind of holding their line and just, winning the ball back, just being as solid as possible. Be more disciplined. I want the players to retain possession, have shorter passing. I want them to pass in space. I want them to play out of defence as well. So I have actually mentioned this guy kind of looking around, just see what's on basically, and I think it's going to be quite a good idea for this guy to just kind of see what is around. If the ball does come out to this guy here, if this guy, if you can kind of like lay it off to this guy, that would be all good. If Kagawa does drop a little bit deeper, then obviously you can kind of like lay it off to him and hope that something happens as well. Low crosses as well I've decided to go for, just because this guy's off the ball is 18. So I think with this team, it's all kind of just about kind of retaining possession, kind of moving the ball around pretty quickly, and then, sort of making the play a little bit slower maybe at the back. And then when it does get up to these four guys up here, just kind of really push the pace, like make the two wingers kind of like run at the opposition defence, things like that. Just kind of almost scare the opposition into just being like kind of really sort of creative and, just kind of using your pace and things like that. I think that's probably going to be the best way for Dortmund to kind of score quite a lot of goals and, have the most success. So this is obviously my Dortmund tactic that I've created. So this is obviously just my opinion of how I think Dortmund should be set up. I'd really, really like to hear your guys' opinion on how you would set Dortmund up. If there's any kind of different tactics that you'd use or players that you might swap over, I'd certainly like to hear your kind of opinions on them. If you have enjoyed this video, then please do drop the like button. Hit the like button, and of course do subscribe to the channel. We've got loads and loads more Football Manager videos to be coming out. We'll be back very, very soon anyway for some more videos. But thanks for watching, and do leave your comments.